Herbert Harris, The Death of a Tramp. As he had expected, George Fletcher ran into the tramp down by the river. It was true what everyone at the fishing lodge said. The tramp was his double. The same build, everything. Only the clothes were different, of course. The tramp's face was almost the same face he had been staring at in the mirror for over 40 years. Fletcher was thinking about the wretched life he had led since he married Ethel. 10 years with Ethel had marked him. He hated her. So, as often as he could, he went away on these fishing trips. He was dreaming of a new life, a life without Ethel. When he saw the tramp, he got his idea. The river was deep, and the bridge over it was old and rickety. The tramp was lying there on his back, close to the bridge. Fletcher sat down a few yards away from the tramp. He took out a thermos from his rucksack and poured himself some coffee. He looked around and realized the tramp was watching him. "Would you like a coffee?" he asked. The tramp sat down beside him. "That's very kind of you," he said. "Thanks." Fletcher watched him drinking. "I don't feel sorry for you," he said. "I've come here to get away from my wife, and that, my friend, is a short moment of happiness for me. But you've got all the freedom in the world. No family, no relatives, no one to worry about." The tramp looked at him. "You're right," he said. "You're a lucky dog," continued Fletcher. "Drink your coffee before it gets cold." He watched as the tramp slurped down the coffee. "Yeah, I really envy you." "No money either," said the tramp. "Nor have I," said Fletcher. "My wife takes it all, but soon she'll have to work to earn a living. It'll be hard for her, I hope." As Fletcher kept talking, the tramp fell asleep. The pills he had put in the coffee had worked quickly. The tramp was breathing heavily. Fletcher took his clothes off, then undressed the tramp. Soon they had changed clothes. The tramp had become George Fletcher, and George had become the tramp. He took out the only money there was in his wallet, a pound note, and put it in his own pocket. Then he put the wallet back in his jacket, the jacket the tramp was now wearing. Carefully he dragged the tramp over to the wooden bridge. He stamped hard in the middle of it, then dropped the tramp through the hole and saw his body sink into the deep water. Fletcher put his fishing gear and his rucksack on the bridge beside the hole and returned to the river bank. He looked around. No one had seen him. Then he disappeared quickly down the path that led into the forest. Fletcher walked for hours through the peaceful landscape, enjoying his new freedom. There was a smile on his lips when he thought about how Ethel would identify the dead body. She would recognize his clothes and his belongings. She wouldn't take a very close look at his face. He was looking forward to reading the news of his own death. "Angler drowned" would be the headline. Suddenly it occurred to Fletcher that he had no name. What might the tramp's name have been? He began searching the pockets of the torn clothes, and soon he found a thumbed cutting from yesterday's paper. Have you ever seen this man?" the headline read. And below it a photograph. Fletcher stared at it. It could have been a picture of himself. Slowly he read the text. "The police are using tracker dogs in the hunt for William Chapman, who escaped from Broadmead on Monday. Chapman was declared insane after strangling 2 women." Fletcher suddenly heard a dog barking close by. Trembling all over, he started to run.